Saturday, 2 p.m, Stamford Bridge, Chelsea look to bounce back from another defeat, this time at the hands of Liverpool, and this time we will be taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers, who obviously beat us 2-1 at Molineux on, was it Christmas Eve? I think
it was. How horrible Christmas Eve game. Very unfair.
Yeah.
Don't like that at all.
Yeah, not what I ordered off my Christmas list. So, we are going to be previewing that game, and here to help me do so, as you already know from the last camera switch, is my good friend and channel fan favourite, Josh Aveste, who will be going to the game. So you're brave in this one, and then you're shooting straight over to do the kickoff. I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know how you're going to get from Stamford Bridge all the way to Newcastle in about 20 minutes.
I know. It takes... Do you know what? I'm pretty quick.
Yeah.
I'm pretty quick. I keep saying to you, mate, I could do a job up front for Chelsea, and that's why it's the pace.
I'll tell you who else is pretty quick. Your boy, Mikhailo Mudryk.
Yeah,
will he be starting in this one? Because he ain't been great.
He definitely won't be starting in this
Missed
one.
an absolute sitter against Liverpool,
Yeah,
didn't he?
I mean, sitter, yeah, but it was a pretty easy chance. Would we have slotted that?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Listen, Wolves are a very decent team. I spoke a little bit pre-season when it looked like Lopetegui would be leaving. He hadn't at that point left. We didn't know who they'd get in. The financial fair play element was massive. And do you know what? Just to off track a little bit, it's deadline day today as we record this right now. FFP has absolutely fucked this transfer window, hasn't it? Because no one's budged.
I'm so bored of it.
The only man to get a sniff of a move is Calvin Phillips, and he's been sat on the Man City bench for the best part of 2 years. So it's mad, isn't it? This transfer window's been dead. Is that a direct result of everyone worrying about FFP?
Oh, yes, totally. Do you know what, mate? We had back in the day, was it Berbatov that was a January signing?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? You
Yeah.
literally see him.
Yeah.
You see him in the sort of windows of Old Trafford, sort of walking past, and you go, "Oh yeah, you love it." You had reporters standing outside with dildos in their ear, like that was peak. That was peak transfer season, wasn't it? I missed that. I missed the dildos in the ear.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there's always room for a dildo in the air. I mean, I'm pretty sure they did tell him that report. You got to stop bringing your toys into work after this. So, yeah.
What an era that we're never going to get back because of this stupid football financial governance. Like, just give me a Fernando Torres. Do you know what? Like, give me a transfer saga.
I think Fernando Torres would start for us up front right now.
I think he probably would. Have you seen how big he is?
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Tonk.
Yeah, he is big, yeah.
Yeah.
Good lad.
A few steroids maybe, but don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I just looked at my pre-season predictions, right? I've got a screenshot here. I did predict Liverpool to finish 5th, which, tells you everything you need to know about my predictions.
Where I predicted Liverpool to finish?
Where did you?
Do you remember?
I think you said 2nd, didn't you? Did you say 1st? Oh, no, you did not.
I did say 1st, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He knows stuff. He knows. I put Wolves in 19th.
Right. Could still happen.
Where did you put them? Can you remember?
About 19th.
We weren't expecting much from him.
No.
He's done a good job, hasn't he, Gary O'Neill?
He's done an absolutely phenomenal job. And I tell you what, their boy up top bangs goals for fun. Little did we know, or did any of us think, that Son may not end up the top South Korean goal scorer in the Premier League this season. And Wolves have been playing well, man. They've got some good wins. They're always, serving as quite a tough test for a lot of the top teams. Obviously, they're playing Man United tonight. By the time this goes out, they'll have played them last night. I fancy Wolves for a result in that one. Fancy them for a win against Man United. So we know that we're going to have our hands full with Wolverhampton Wanderers, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And it's funny you mentioned strikers for Wolves because, we were trying to offload one of our strikers to Wolves.
Still could happen. Still could happen.
So this is going to be interesting because we're recording this on the day of deadline day. You guys are going to know what happens. I think that Broja will end up staying at Chelsea.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I think he will.
So when he's now playing for AC Milan, you'll let us know that we're absolute idiots.
Nottingham Forest loan deal is the one I'm hearing on Twitter at the minute.
Really? I mean, it seems like every sort of bottom 10 club is going in for him at the moment, which makes you think maybe we should, keep him.
Yeah. Could be a bottom 10 club if Wolves manage to get a win against us at Stamford Bridge.
Exactly.
So, do we need to be going into this match with confidence? I don't think that our confidence needs to be massively knocked off the back of that Liverpool performance. I said it in my video last night. Teams can go to Anfield and get beat. Aston Villa got beat by a 3-goal margin at Anfield this season, so it can happen. It's concerning, the lack of fight, the lack of heart, the lack of character, the lack of technical ability that we showed in that game. but it's not enough for me to write off our chances at getting a home win against a very decent Wolves team, but not a better than us Wolves team.
Well, we said that last time, didn't we? And we looked like absolute morons.
I say it every fucking time.
Yeah. But I know what you're saying about the Liverpool point. Like, come on, mate. That first game after the Klopp announcement at Anfield in the Premier League. Like, obviously they played Norwich, but that's a warm-up.
Norwich.
Yeah, exactly. Probably better than us.
Yeah.
So you knew that game was going to be hard, and I just felt that there was you heard it in Anfield. You saw it in the Klopp body language. Like, he was fucking up for that game, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And so you mate, I predicted it. I actually said as soon as I saw the formation in the lineup and the fact that they were so up for it, you knew, and the way that TNT were basically making that a Liverpool, sort of like homecoming, you knew that.
Did you say TNT or TNE?
TNE. It's TNE or TNA.
Yeah, TNA. It was right. It was right. Sorry, I've got to get over that game. But he was right cock, wasn't he? He's just an absolute knob all match. Paul Tierney. He's just had a bad game. He had a shocker. He had a shocker.
He did. And for me, there were two clear errors. And I've heard people debate one or the other. Like the Conor Gallagher one, it was a bad
laughable.
One. It was a bad one. And to then give the Liverpool one, where it was sort of like a touch on the top, from a touch on the top of the foot by Badiashile. But mate, we can't keep talking about referees. But that was a disgrace. But let's be honest, they were the better team anyway. So who cares?
I think after the substitutions that were made in that game against Liverpool, it's going to steer me in a certain direction when it comes to picking my team sheet. We're both going to pick our team sheets.
Oh, you're giving me yours?
I'm going to give you mine.
Oh, very exciting.
I'm going to give it to you.
Oh, yeah, well.
I think by the timing-wise, when we've hit the studio this week, we're recording on today, which is...
Thursday. Can't remember what day it is myself.
No, neither can I.
Yeah. We're just working all the time for you lads. We really are putting in the time and effort.
Hard graft.
Yeah.
Hard graft. So hit the like button. I think by the time I get this out, I'll probably just give my team sheet now.
Okay.
I pretty much know what I'm going with.
Love it. So are you going to give me your team sheet first?
Ooh.
Or am I going to give you mine
first?
Yeah, we'll never do it this way around. So I'm going to critique yours. I'm going to be very aggressively critiquing.
Okay, right. My team sheet, let's go with it. I've not even got one written down. So I am just going to freestyle with this one. I am going to go... Formation, I'm sticking.
Okay.
I'm sticking rather than twisting, which means I'm going to go with that 4-3-3.
Very conservative.
I am going to go Petrovic in goal. Petrovic is a man that I love. I will probably call my first son Petrovic. I won't use his first name. I will just...
Do you know why? Because his first name is very difficult to spell.
Yeah. Everything's difficult to spell for me. Petrovic, no, it's a good name. It's a good name. Yeah. So I'm going to go Petrovic in goal. Right back, Melo Gusto's got to be straight in there. He is another, apart from Christopher Nkunku, shining light from that Liverpool defeat because we were massively more creative, especially down that flank once Melo Gusto came on. And it's mad, isn't it? Early on in the season, we were looking at him getting sent off against Aston Villa. We were looking at him in certain performances and thinking, could he sort of carry us there when Reece James isn't there?
Though. That was a fucking joke.
It was a bad sending off. We was watching it on the kickoff. We was fuming about that one. But Melo Gusto, he's a good option now. I'm going to go Thiago Silva. I'm going to hope that Levi Colwill is back for that match. But if he's not back...
As a centre-back.
If he's not back, I'm going to have to pair Thiago Silva with Disasi. Because again, Badiashile, man, he's just not filling me with any sort of...
Three very clear errors from Badiashile.
Are we harsh on him because he was being played out of position?
I don't care. I don't care about that anymore. Like, come on, we've seen Disasi be a decent enough right back. Like, fair enough, Badiashile hasn't played yet, and he's doing it in a cauldron that is Anfield. But come on, like, to lose your man in the Diaz chance, where Diaz basically just wants it more, it was horrendous. Like, he had a stinker. He had one of the worst centre back performances we've seen this season, and that's telling you something because we've had some pretty bad centre back performances.
So I will go with Disasi there next to Thiago Silva, which obviously means that then I am putting Ben Chilwell at left back. He's going to have to be better. He was really good against Middlesbrough. He was quality against Middlesbrough. But in terms of doing it against Liverpool, he really wasn't very good.
He was shit, mate. He was hooked off. Vice-captain, who was captain on the night, hooked off at half-time. It's a scary one for me.
And when Mauricio Pochettino makes a half-time sub, one or two things have happened. Either there's an injury or something's going terribly wrong. When he makes 3 at half-time, a manager who notoriously doesn't really make a sub until the 60th, 70th minute, You know something is not going right on that pitch.
They worked though, didn't they?
They did.
They kept, all three of them came on, other than Mudryk, came on and looked really good.
And they have heavily influenced the way I'm going to go with this starting lineup. So then I am looking at the midfield, and I am going to go with a midfield three. I'm going to break it for the first time in a long time. And that means I'm going Enzo, Caicedo and Cole Palmer in the 10. Which is the first time in a
Have you not predicted? Have you not gone for Cole in the 10 before?
No, I've always gone Gallagher there, to be honest. Yeah. Unless one of Enzo or Caicedo has been out and he's been deeper. But I've pretty much always gone Gallagher there. Cole Palmer in the 10 is the man that I think we need to stick with for this match, right? Then I'm going with... This is
hard. The front three is really difficult. Because I'll help you here. Like Sterling for me just hasn't been good enough for a long time. Noni, not sure what he's going to bring. Mudryk has been the worst out of all three of those recently. So your winger choices are really difficult.
Well, I know where I'm going with this. I'm going to go on the right hand side with Noni Madueke. I don't feel he was good against Liverpool. I don't feel he was bad against Liverpool. I just think that he didn't really turn up against Liverpool. But I am going to give him the opportunity to try and have a run at these Wolves fullbacks, because he's one of the players that I do have more confidence running at men, taking men out of the game. I'm then going to go with Nkunku over on the other side, and I'm welcoming back the main man, Nicholas Jackson, in to the number 9.
Who would have thought, mate, that we'd be fucking buzzing to see Jackson coming back for Chelsea after what he did at the start of the season, missing all those chances?
It's mad, isn't it?
I can't wait to see him.
Did you see anything of him in the African Cup of Nations? Was he any good?
Mate, he barely played.
Right.
He was coming off the bench all the time. Like, he didn't... I think he may have started one game. But I actually don't. That could be completely false. He might have come off the bench in every game. So the fact that he's been out there not playing for us, is gutting.
I've got a feeling that he plays. I've got a feeling that he scores.
I think he probably does score as well. I agree with you.
Mad, isn't it? So that's my starting lineup. But straight onto it, let's go in with yours.
Okay. So I'm not massively dissimilar to yours, but I have mixed up slightly. I've kept with the formation as well. I'm going for a more 4-2-3-1 as opposed to a 4-3-3. But I have to say I was really torn, and I was considering a 5 at the back for this game, especially when you look at the personnel that are available. But look, I've gone for the same formation. Petrovic obviously goes in goal. It's a no-brainer there. Gusto looks so good at right back. I feel you have to play him. Then for me, it's then going to be Disasi on the right centre-back position. Left centre-back will be Thiago Silva. And then I personally, for this game, and I'm also kind of predicting what Poch is going to do here, I think that Cole will, if he's back, will end up playing at left back because of how bad Chilwell was in that game. Gave the ball away too many times, made too many errors. So unless he does something magical in training to convince Pochettino otherwise, I feel like he'll go for the safer option. And then that also means that you've got the sort of the 3 centre-backs with the wing back, the bombs on with Gusto.
Could we not be more lenient on Chilwell and just say, look, you have come back from bad injury, and although you look good against Middlesbrough and Liverpool are very different opposition, and maybe, just maybe, Chilwell wasn't ready to be starting that match, and we had the wall pulled over our eyes a little bit from his dominant display against Borough.
Yeah, but the problem is, mate, it's like we've been torn apart so often. And you're saying you want to go into this game where we've just conceded 4 goals and play 2 attacking wing backs. It would be rogue, wouldn't it? The only way you could do it is if there was a player like Lavia in the hole. Like that's the only way you could do it.
Or if you change your formation.
Or if you change your formation. And that's why for me,
it's tempting, isn't it?
It may make more sense with as I say, with the personnel to play the 5 at the back system if you're going to do that. Especially with the underperformance of the wingers. But anyway, I'm going for a 4. I think if Colwell was fit, which is a big if, I wouldn't play Badiashile there. So if Colwell was fit, I'll put him in. If he isn't fit, then for me it would be Chilwell as well. But I think we're going to be very open if that's the case. Then I'm going to have Caicedo, Enzo. For me, they play every single game. Then in my 10, I'm not going to go Palmer. I'm not going to go Gallagher. I'm going to go for Carney. Game changer. Game changer when he came on. I thought he looked so good. And I have to say, like, obviously we've only seen him in fits and starts this season, but when he's played, he's looked brilliant.
Villa Academy as well, so he'll want to bag a goal against Wolves. Bit of a beef there.
Yeah, there you go. Love it. Love the aggression. So I think if you've got him then playing, mate, this is going to be, I'm going to call it now. This is our best front 3, bearing in mind the team that we have and the players that we have right now. Palmer on the right. You've got Nkunku on the left, supporting the striker that is Jackson. I'm going to put him in straight away. That is our best front three, mate. That's actually the front three that I want to see for the rest of the season.
Which begs a question. Let's speak about your boy, Mykhailo Mudryk.
I was waiting for this, Joey. I was waiting for it.
Are you now any closer to having a definitive answer in your head of what sort of player Mykhailo Mudryk is, and whether Mykhailo Mudryk is a good enough player to help Chelsea get back to where we want to be?
Do you know what's so funny is whatever I'm going to say now people will laugh at me, because it's like one of those things where, he's been so bad in the most recent games. I don't think anyone seeing his most recent performances would say that he would become like a Chelsea level player. And so anything that I'm going to say is caveated with that fact. He's been so bad recently, right? But for me, what I would say is he's got that ability to do things that not many other winger options other than basically Nkunku can do for us sometimes, where he can use his pace, get in behind people, and basically like make stuff happen, which is electric and exciting.
Tried to use his pace a few times last night.
He did. It didn't go well. It didn't go well. I mean, look, for me, right, we signed some of these players, and we signed them bearing in mind that more often than not, back in the day, they probably would have gone out on loan, or they would have gone, they would have been bed into the team slowly. Like back in the day, I don't know if we would have taken the risk on a 23-year-old player that had played like less than 50 games in his entire sort of senior career. Like back in the day, we had people like, Hazard, Willie and Pedro, in those positions. It's very different, isn't it? So we've taken a risk on him. The risk and the potential is massive. And I do think that there is a very high possibility that he becomes an elite player. But because of the dysfunction around him, he's looking worse than he is. And he hasn't got the confidence of people helping him and improving his ability. He's a confidence player, isn't he?
Can we be honest?
Go on.
He needs a fucking loan.
Do you think?
And that's bad, man.
I think he either needs a loan or he just needs to play some more games, mate. Like the thing is...
Yeah, but this whole playing games thing, like... Mate, like, we've given him games. Like, everyone goes, oh, well, he's only played X amount of minutes. All right, I get it. But there was a point, let's call it 10 games ago, whenever it was, when I was saying, yeah, but we need to see Mykhailo Mudryk given a run of games. And then he was given a run of games. I think he had 4 starts in a row or something like that, which sort of accumulated in that awful performance against Everton. And he's never delivered on the pitch for me to go, yeah, you are someone that not even we need to build a team around, but we need to have in our starting 11 every single week. And we look at the signings of Madueke. I put Madueke ahead of him at the moment. We look at Nkunku. Of course Nkunku's going in there ahead of him. Cole Palmer, of course he's going in ahead of him. There's so many players I put ahead of him at the moment that I'm thinking, the way I'm looking at Mudryk at the minute, I'm like, mate, we need to send you out on a loan and hope you smash it somewhere on loan, and maybe then we cut our losses early and try and sell you, because I just never think he's going to be that guy. He looks like a brilliant athlete, but not a brilliant footballer. He doesn't look like he understands the game of football. And rich for me to say, I'm just some bloke sat here talking on a sofa on YouTube, but it's the truth.
I mean, Frank said it, mate. Frank said it. Frank said exactly that same thing. There were leaks going around that Frank had a look at him in training and basically went, yeah, amazing athlete, but he's not got the football brain. And that's, I mean, he would know, wouldn't he? He's been in there in the change room, in the training pitch. He'd know. That's scary to say that.
That is scary.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. So, I agree with you. I think a loan would be good, but I have to say, like, it would be a real indictment and a real sign of the board's failure if he ends up going out on loan. It would show that they've really fucked up with him. And I don't know if they're big and ugly enough to sort of deal with that, because it would show that they've made another mistake. So we'll see what happens with him. I think if he ends up going, like, I'll put it this way, mate. If he plays for Brighton, I think he's one of their best players.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
They're above us in the league.
He nearly went to Brentford at one point before he comes to Chelsea. So, mad. This match against Wolves, you're going with your old man. Are you confident that we get a win against Wolves?
No. Like, no.
Well, that's that then. See you in the next one.
Yeah. Like, mate, we do this all the time, don't we? Like, we come in here and sit around, and we did this. I remember we did this before the last Wolves games. We're like, yeah, 2-0 probably win. It's going to be hard. And yes, we've got a relatively good sort of streak going on at Stamford Bridge at the moment. I mean, this is a 6-pointer, isn't it? If you look at where we are in the league right now, they are one of our direct competitors. And so we should be beating them at home, but it doesn't mean that we will. Mate, honestly, if you're going to ask me my prediction, I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. I'm not confident.
I am confident in a Chelsea winning this match. I do think we'll beat Wolves. I don't think Wolves were great when we played them at Molineux. I think that we could have come in and should have come in at half-time, about 3 goals to the good. So if we can be a little bit more clinical early on, then I think we should. But Mauricio Pochettino does need to be bold here. We need to see Nkunku start the match. That's a given. Not sure how it's going to go. By the time this video comes out, you'll know whether Amanda Broha has gone, whether he stayed, whether he's gone on loan. Josh is checking his phone now just in case Twitter something tells him that Amanda Broha has gone. But at this moment in time, he's there. Whether he's there or not, I want to see Nkunku on the pitch. I want to see Jackson in there instead of Broha for this moment in time. And I just want to see us go for it in this match. Take the shackles off, show some real attacking football, and show that we can be a lot more clinical. And when questions were raised of Mauricio Pochettino recently, especially after that Middlesbrough loss, we did come back and we did regain a little bit of form. So hopefully now we're going to be able to do the same thing. I would pick us to beat Wolves at Stamford Bridge. But do you know what? The way it's going, if we do it 1-0, 2-1, I'll take it any way it can come.
Take the points, mate. Just get the points on the board. I don't care now until the end of the season about the performances and the level. I just want the points on the board. That's all I care about.
Yeah. Well, we will be live on the kickoff on Sunday. What game are we live for?
It's Liverpool-Arsenal.
Yeah, big game. Big game. But we will be obviously speaking about how the Chelsea game went. So make sure you are on the kickoff live stream on Sunday to watch us give our views on how the Chelsea against Wolves game went. And obviously watching along to a massive, massive clash between Liverpool and Arsenal. Anything to add, or is that us good?
No, just be on that live stream because we are going to be talking all about Chelsea on that. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be good to have you back. We've missed you, mate.
I know. I was on holiday for the last one. I was a bit gutted, to be fair. I was watching at home. I was watching a live stream. It was a good one. But I was probably a little bit happy when the result went the way it did, that maybe... I weren't there to be laughed at.
Mate, I got slaughtered. I got
really?
Absolutely. They were questioning Chelsea so hard last night. It was horrible. To be there and to have to deal with how shit we are and actually have other fans sort of laugh in your face when you say that Enzo and Caicedo are good enough. It's not easy, mate. It's not easy.
Welcome to the life of a Chelsea fan.
We need to be together. Also, let us know in the comments. This is one I will ask the comments. Is Enzo and Caicedo the future of Chelsea?
we've always said the same thing, haven't we? And that is that potentially when Romeo Lavia comes in, he might end up being the most important one out of all of them. Price tags mean nothing, mate. Price tags really do mean nothing, because at the moment, if you say to me, okay, who's performing better out of Mikhailo Mudryk and Cole Palmer, who, was nearly half the price, you're obviously going to go with Cole Palmer there. So price tags really do mean nothing. And I think there's every chance that when Romeo Lavia comes in, potentially he ends up being the best one out of the three of them. Yeah. But if I had to rate someone right now, I would say Caicedo. I would. And people give me stick over my support of Caicedo, but I just think he is decent. And I think as things progress, as this team hopefully levels up, you'll see what an important player he will prove to be for us.
I think he will. I think he'll be brilliant. He had to play the whole game with that yellow card because he fucking put his hands in the air.
Yeah,
honestly, there's some of the yellow cards, mate. I can't keep going on about the refs.
Reffing
it was so bad.
People, we want to know your thoughts. Let us know what you think of those starting lineups that we've put in there. I want score predictions for the game against Wolves. I want all your thoughts on where Chelsea are at right now in the comment section. I will be reading all of your comments. I'll try and get back to as many of you as I possibly can. And also, please do me a favour, subscribe to Josh's channel. It is linked in the description to this video. And another thing that is linked in the description to this video is the website for Podcast Room, which is where I record all of my content from. They are based in Barnes, southwest London. So if you're in the local area, you want to start your own podcast, you want somewhere to film your content that matches the quality with what you're putting out, make sure you hit that link. Head over to their website. If you tell them I sent you, they will give you a good price, and I will see you all in the next one.